Hello everyone, this is Alex from Switchaboo. I'm joined here by Michelle and Eva from Banana Bird Studios, here to talk about Beasts of Maravilla Island. How are you today?
We're doing great. We're super excited to be here.
No, it's honestly, it's a pleasure to have you. I saw the Kickstarter campaign a couple of days ago and it looks incredible, so I had to reach out and ask a few questions.
Thank you.
No, you're very welcome. First off, just to get a quick rundown of the game itself, can you please tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So Beasts of Maravilla Island is a 3D adventure game where you must explore a magical jungle island in order to discover extraordinary creatures, learn their behaviors, and most importantly, photograph their majesty. And so as you go through the game, you encounter a number of different incredible sort of hybridized animals, and you need to complete your grandfather's legacy to bring photographs of all of them back and share their magic with the world.
Yeah, and it looks absolutely beautiful as well. The art style as well looks absolutely breathtaking. It's a very Nintendo 64 style aesthetic that you're going for.
I love that. Yes, I'm glad that those notes land.
No, and another thing I also loved was when I watched the trailer, I really liked the voiceover from the grandfather, and there was a lot of motivation for the protagonist. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, like the voiceover, or the sort of the sentiments of the voiceover.
More in line with the protagonist's motivation to be there, to be on that island.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Eva, I can start us off, and then I'd love to pass it along to you.
Yeah, go for it.
For some spice. But yeah, so you play as Marina Montez, and so her grandfather was a naturalist and a nature artist. So he did sketches, which you can see in the field guide that you use while you're playing through Beasts of Maravilla Island. And so he visited the island, but when he brought back his findings, no one believed him. So he has humbly requested that his granddaughter visits the island as his dying wish to take photographs of these magical creatures and share their magic with the world so that they can continue to exist. Because without people's belief in magic, then those animals will disappear. Eva, do you want to add anything?
No, I think you pretty much nailed it on the head. Like, the most important thing for Marina is to make people believe in this magic, because as they say in the trailer and in the opening cutscene, how can you save what you do not know? It's a lot about bringing awareness to these animals.
And I just need to give a shout out to our amazing voice actor, Dave Rivas, who voiced the grandpa in the trailer. He's amazing.
Very nice. It seems kind of obvious, but Beasts of I'm going to get this right. Beasts of
it's okay.
Maravilla Island is clearly inspired by... Yeah, thank you. It's clearly inspired by Pokemon Snap. Have you taken any inspiration from any other series?
Oh, yes, absolutely. The biggest inspirations that we had game-wise, Pokemon Snap, absolutely, but Breath of the Wild and the Hyrule Compendium within the Breath of the Wild was another huge inspiration for us. And also, one of the games that the whole team was required to play was Abzu, which is the beautiful underwater exploration game by Giant Squid, because there's just so much really beautiful and peaceful interactions with the animals that are in the environment around you.
It really captured the emotion that we were going for.
Yeah, beautiful. So it's more like just trying to just get into that island and just explore it and just be with the animals.
Yeah, and to also feel humbled and part of the environment. To not feel like you have control over anything, and that instead you're just part of it and you're an observer.
No, that sounds lovely. That sounds really good. I do have to ask, what was your reaction when new Pokemon Snap was announced?
Oh my gosh. It was really interesting. I mean, we all love Pokemon Snap. Like, that's why we're making this game. So, I mean, we were stunned because we were like, oh man, it's been so long. there's probably not going to be another Pokemon Snap for the foreseeable future. And so all of us had this mixture of like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting, like as players, but then as developers, we're like, oh my gosh, we have to make sure that we really know how to set ourselves apart so that people know that even though it's really inspired by Pokemon Snap, that it is its own unique game in its own right.
Yeah, I was really concerned when I actually saw the Kickstarter campaign. I'm like, oh, this looks amazing. But it's like 2 Pokemon Snaps announced within a month's time, almost.
I know. It was a little scary, but we try to make sure that, like, even though we do share the sort of main essence of you're taking these photographs of these wonderful creatures that you see, we're hoping that with the addition of our freedom to explore and our puzzle solving and the narrative that's present within the game and the emphasis on more sort of personal and unique interactions with the animals, that we can set ourselves apart a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think when I did an article about it, I wanted to say that it was just a quick way to describe it was an off-rail Pokemon Snap. Almost.
Yeah, totally.
So like more freedom to explore, and you can find things in like little nooks and crannies and whatnot.
Absolutely.
So, out of curiosity, why was Nintendo Switch your first choice of platform after PC?
Oh yeah, so the funny thing is that originally we were just planning on developing it for the Switch. We hadn't actually planned to do a PC port of it, but when quarantine started and we kind of had to switch to distributed development, we didn't have as easy of access to like development kits, and so we wound up being like, we're gonna have to make this work on PC anyway. Like, let's let's do it. So we have a pretty strong PC version of it going, but all of us on the team love we love the what the hardware of the Switch affords us, because we have like, you can move the gyroscope around and it'll move around like a real camera, and we use the Heishi Rumble in order to kind of create that simulation of a presence of animals like wrestling in the bushes or chirping and making little sounds along with you. And definitely the ability of being able to like take that game into nature with you, and the inherent sort of portability of it and ability to share that with people and enjoy this game about enjoying nature in theory, were things that were very important to us. But we also definitely feel like the audience that this game is for lives more on the Switch. And so we really wanted to make sure that we got it on the Switch.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. And I was actually going to ask that as well about the Heishi Rumble and the gyro controls, and the fact that you thought about that initially whilst making the game, whilst starting from scratch, is incredible. I always love a game with good Heishi Rumble, probably a little bit too much sometimes, because
same.
Yes. Some of my other writers at Switchaboo, they're like, you focus a lot on Heishi Rumble in your reviews. I'm like, I really like Heishi Rumble.
Cause it's great. It's so great. Unique and like really visceral and wonderful. I'm with you. Like, I get it.
I'm glad someone else gets it, because yeah, sometimes I can think that I go a little bit too hard on that. But I'm actually, now that you say that, I'm really excited to know how you're going to use Heishi Rumble and how you're going to use gyro. Is gyro basically just the aiming of the camera?
Yeah, that's been how we've been using it mostly, is being able to, because you switch from the third person perspective into that first person camera, and so once you switch into that first person camera, the gyro takes over and you can move it around just like a real camera.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm thinking as well, like, I mean, it wasn't a commercial success, but I would have loved to seen something like that on the Wii U, where you would have had like a second screen.
That would have been so awesome.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a dying dream there, but that's okay. We got it on the Switch, so that's okay.
Yeah, we're on the Switch. We're good. Yep.
So can you please tell me a little bit more about the game's development and how it's coming along, and whether there's been any challenges?
Yeah, totally. Eva, do you want to start us off, Eva?
Well, the biggest challenge definitely was after the pandemic hit, just because we started out in this big lab space all together and would meet up at very specific lab times, and so we could really communicate off of each other in person. And whenever we needed to ask anyone a question, we could just walk right up to them. And so transitioning into working completely remotely, mostly through Discord. Definitely took a little bit of time, but we've actually transitioned very well, and we've have this organization system going on where people are still able to communicate. We still have lab times where we all jump on Discords and different chats, and are able to send each other documentation and screen share. So it's been a lot smoother than we would have initially thought, and I'm really proud of everyone who's rallied together to get that complete.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely been. I've heard that from quite a few developers, and they say when the pandemic started, that's been the biggest challenge, just trying to get everyone together and being able to feed off because of everyone else. Because like you said, you're working in one space, and that was how you interacted, and that was how you got things done. So it's a lot. I imagine it's a lot different, which I assume probably has put the release date back a little bit, I imagine.
Yeah, definitely. Like we, when we were all sort of transitioning into being remote, that definitely took a hit on productivity a little bit. But the team has, like, to their credit, we picked it back up and we've been working hard ever since. So, and now we're on track to hopefully get the game out the door by the end of 2020. We're targeting for around a Q4 release date. On our Kickstarter, we mentioned December. It may come a little earlier depending on how the certification process goes. But yeah, but we're hoping to make sure that we get out in Q4.
That's fantastic, and that's a really good turnaround as well. That's not that far away.
Yeah, thanks.
Now, back to the Kickstarter campaign. That's my alarm. Never mind. Your Kickstarter campaign, that was an instant success. So you reached a goal in just 13 hours. What was the team's reaction to that?
Oh my gosh, we could not believe it at all.
Our messages were exploding all day.
We were like, what the heck is going on? Like, I mean, especially since like we're a pretty young team, and we definitely felt like we didn't do as much beforehand community building as we felt like we'd ought to, and like we were all really nervous. We were like, no, like let's give it a shot. Like we had a really amazing subset of the development team that was working super hard on the Kickstarter for a month up until its release, and even like we poured our hearts and souls to it. And then I remember right when I woke up at like 7:30 a.m. to hit that launch button, and I was like, okay, we'll just have to see how it goes. And we were absolutely astonished at how quickly we actually met our funding goal. We thought it was going to be an uphill battle the whole way, and it was a huge relief and a huge just honor to have so many people support us and enjoy our game and enjoy our concept. And yeah, it was amazing.
No, that is incredible, because I rarely see campaigns funded within 24 hours. I mean, you've got the odd one here and there, but you're onto something special when it's fully backed in within 24 hours. So congratulations on that, I do have to say.
Thank you so much.
It's really an honor.
So you've got quite a few more days left with that campaign. Do you have anything you want to achieve with the rest of it?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, so honestly, because we did not realize how quickly we funded, we didn't even really discuss stretch goals in huge detail until after the campaign had started, because we were like, okay, yeah, like we'll be lucky if we make it by the end of the campaign. So, but we'll see how it goes. But then the turnaround was so fast. We were like, oh my gosh, we have to think of some stretch goals like right now. But after the team discussed it, we're really excited because we added a couple of fun stretch goals that we're really hoping to meet. We're pretty close to one. We're only a little over $500 till getting there, which is adding more translations into the game. Originally, we felt like we may have only had the bandwidth for doing English and maybe one or two, but now it's like really important to us, especially now seeing that we have a pretty significant international following from the Kickstarter and from our social media. We're like, okay, we have to make sure that we translate the game and get this into their hands. And so we're really excited about being able to hopefully reach that goal, and then being able to localize the game in more places. And in addition, we put one at 20,000 that I think is pretty fun. If we make that goal, the team would love to be able to add a selfie mode into the game. So that would be a fun one to be able to add.
That's exciting. Is Is there any customization that you can do for your character for your selfie mode?
Not at the moment, but if we reach that 20,000, we can figure out in more design detail how we might be able to make that selfie mode more exciting. At the very least, we have some really cute facial expressions that our character can make, and we might be able to do some more fun stuff.
That's cute. So is there anything else you'd like to say to your backers or to anyone who's on the fence of backing?
Eva, do you want to go first? I can also go first.
You can go first. Give me a second to think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, please. I have to just, like, communicate to all of them how in awe the team is of the immediate and passionate support that we've received from people, both, like, friends and family, and then also just strangers on the internet who discovered our product and really believe in it and really believe in us. And that is the most validating and wonderful thing in the world. And we're all so touched and so excited to make this game something fantastic and beautiful even more than ever, so that anyone who plays it, whether they're a backer or not, will just love it and enjoy it and have their heart warmed by the wholesome and lovely experience that we've created. Yeah.
And I mean, definitely plussing that. Like, I am completely honored. Like, thank you so much to everyone who has spread the word and who has backed us. It's been absolutely crazy, and I'm stunned that we've gotten this far. But to answer the part about anyone who is on the fence, I would definitely recommend checking out the demo, which is on itch.io right now. We've been working really hard to polish that even further for the full release, but it definitely captures the essence of what we're going for. And I'd say that if you play it and you like it, then you will definitely like the full game, because there is even more magic deeper within Maravilla Island.
That's fantastic. And is there anything you'd like to say to our listeners and to our readers out there?
Oh my gosh, keep playing awesome Switch games and supporting awesome Switch-related media. And thank you so much for listening to us talking about our little dream. It means a lot. We are just, like, so excited that people are interested in what we're doing. And thank you again, Alex, so much for reaching out to us and having this interview with us. It's really cool.
No, you're very welcome. It's an absolute pleasure. Lastly, where can our readers go to learn more about Beasts of Maravilla Island and keep up to date with the game's progress?
Yeah, so we're active on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as Discord. We have a Discord server, and so we post updates every couple days on all of those. But we also have a website, beastsofmaravillaisland.com, where you can read more about the game and where it came from, as well as just kind of checking in on big major updates. So I'd say those are the best places to look.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Michelle and Eva. I really, really do appreciate you taking the time to have a chat with us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
And thank you everyone for listening. If you enjoyed this interview, please consider supporting us on patreon.com/switchaboo, just like these lovely people have.